Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to take the sometimes super frustrating process of writing an essay and turn it into a clear, totally manageable journey. We're not just writing an essay here, we're drawing a map. And this is your guide to creating a route so good, so compelling, your reader won't want the trip to end. You know the feeling, right? We have all been there. You're staring at a draft, and the path from your introduction to your conclusion just feels like this tangled, confusing mess. You know what you want to say, deep down, but you're totally lost on how to get there. Man, it's such a frustrating feeling. But what if we just shifted our perspective a little? What if we think of the essay as a roadmap? You're not just a writer, you are a guide. And your job is to lead your reader, who's the traveler in this scenario, on a clear, logical journey from point A to point B. No confusing detours, no dead ends.
Okay, so here's the game plan for our trip today. We've got 4 main stops. First, we're going to define our destination with a really strong thesis. Then, we'll chart the course by structuring the essay. And finally, we're going to double-check our route with some really powerful revision techniques to make sure it's perfect.
So let's start with that first, absolutely most critical step of any journey. You have to know where you're going. In essay writing, that destination is your thesis statement. Because without a clear destination, you're not guiding a tour, you're just kind of wandering around in the woods.
You know, I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. Your entire paper squeezed into one single sentence. See, it's not just your topic, it's a promise. It's a bold claim you make to your reader that says, hey, here is exactly what I'm going to prove, and here's a little preview of the path we're going to take to get there.
And that promise has to be clear, because a vague destination guarantees a confusing trip for your reader. So let's dig into how to turn a fuzzy idea into a powerful, clear argument, a thesis that's going to be your North Star for this whole thing.
And this example just illustrates the difference perfectly. The weak thesis on the left, it's fine. It's a topic, a fact. It's like telling your traveler, our destination is Florida. Okay, but where in Florida? The strong thesis on the right gives us the exact coordinates. It makes an arguable claim and lays out 3 specific points that will now guide the whole rest of the essay. It's so much better. So a strong thesis has a few jobs to do. Think of this as a little checklist you can run through. Is it arguable? Could someone reasonably disagree with it? Is it specific enough? And maybe most importantly, does it pass the so what test? Because if your reader finishes your thesis and thinks, so what? You haven't given them a reason to take the journey with you. Feeling a little overwhelmed? Don't be. Here's a clear 4-step process to get you there. You start by breaking down the question. Then you brainstorm some ideas, figure out the argument you want to make, and then bam, you polish it into a concise thesis. It takes what feels like this big, scary, creative thing and just breaks it down into simple, logical steps. All right, we have our destination locked in. Now for the fun part, let's actually draw the map. This is where your essay structure comes in, and it's what ensures your reader has a smooth, logical journey from the beginning all the way to the end. The 5-paragraph essay is basically the classic interstate highway of writing. It's reliable, it's efficient, everyone knows how to use it. And it works so well because it sets up and meets your reader's expectations perfectly. The intro points to the destination. Each body paragraph is like a planned scenic stop, proving one piece of your argument. And the conclusion? That's you reminding the traveler of the incredible journey they just took. It is a powerful, powerful framework. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Your thesis is the big picture map, but your topic sentences are the signposts. They're like those next exit 5-mile signs on the highway that tell your reader exactly what's coming up next and reassures them that, yes, they are still on the right track. So how do you get that smooth ride? Well, it all comes down to the mechanics. You need a clear topic sentence. That's your signpost. Then you need supporting evidence. That's the scenery, the step that makes the stop interesting. And transition words? They're the smooth pavement connecting one idea to the next, making sure the ride isn't bumpy or disjointed. Okay, you've written your draft. The journey is planned, the roads are paved. But hold on. Before you hand over the keys and send your reader on their way, you've got to check the map one last time. This is revision. And one of the best tools for the job is something called a reverse outline. The idea here is so simple, but so powerful. You basically strip away all the details, all the supporting evidence and analysis, and you're left with just the bare bones of your argument, your topic sentences. This gives you this amazing bird's eye view of your essay's path. And it's super easy to do. You just copy the main idea from each paragraph and paste it into a new numbered list. That's it. Now you read that list. Does it tell a clear, logical story? Does it flow from one point to the next? Or did you accidentally build a road that leads right off a cliff?
Okay, so let's look at this in action. This is from a paper about how Apple builds trust. Now, as I read these points out, see if you can spot the one that feels a little off, like a weird detour. Most are about individuality, connection, trust. But then look at number 5. It just says, the ads were funny. How does funny connect to the main highway of the argument?
And this is the magic of the reverse outline. By spotting that weak link, that weird detour, the writer can fix it. The new, revised version connects funny back to the main argument. It explains that the humor actually helps people get over their trust issues with new tech. That detour has now become a crucial bridge, strengthening the entire route.
So at the end of the day, look, this isn't about just memorizing some rigid formula. The 5-paragraph essay, the thesis statement, the reverse outline, they're all just tools. The real goal here is to become a confident guide, someone who can lead a reader through a complex idea with real clarity and purpose.
So let me leave you with this question. The next time you sit down to write, are you just going to be a writer, filling a page with words? Or are you going to be a cartographer, carefully and artfully charting an unforgettable journey for your reader?